my Zoom, and I don't know where everybody went to. I can't see anyone at all. This is really weird. It won't let us put our cameras on. Oh, there's something wrong with Zoom. There is something wrong with Zoom. They won't let anyone put their cameras on. And Casey, maybe you can fix it won't let anybody put their cameras on. And I can't see anybody. You can see me though, so that's okay. Good. I am in Los Angeles, California, yes. And so I am in a home in the Hollywood Hills. And so I walked down the hill and back up the hill today, and it was fantastic. So either way, whether we get this fixed or not, it doesn't matter. I'm here to talk about health, to talk about what that means for me, to talk about the changes that are happening within my health. And manifestation is my absolute favorite topic. And the things that are happening with my health right now, with my body, with the way that I am transforming, the longevity of my vessel is all a manifestation. So it is all using the tools and techniques that I have used to change my life 3 years ago and to create this company, to create this life for myself, to increase abundance and prosperity into my life, success into my life. I also am using it for my health. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey and about my story. And I know that we are probably going to have this available for anybody at any time in the replay as well. So I'm going to share a bit about my story. I'm going to share a little bit about the shifts within my consciousness and my belief system that I've made and how they've led to where I am today. And hopefully you will grab something, you will learn something today that you can apply to your life. The biggest thing that I want to say is that you're all on here for a reason. And so this topic of health is something that you either very much value at this point in your life right now, hence you're on the live stream, or it's something that you haven't entirely valued and you're at a time in your life where you're ready to start valuing it. So what I would love to hear from all of you, especially since I can't see a single one of your faces and I'm so used to that. I'm used to seeing everybody. I would love if you guys would, in the comment section, I will have the comments open so that I can engage with you. Let me know why you came on this stream tonight. And if you're watching a replay somewhere, whether this is on YouTube or wherever this is going to be housed, please comment like you're here, because it helps you to engage in the energy and get yourself in the spirit of the thing. So I would love to know what has brought you here. So it could be that you're here to learn a new maybe it's to learn a new perspective. Maybe it's to see what's been going on with me. Maybe you want to focus on your health. Denise, we are going to talk about that, girlfriend. This is not about weight loss. This is not about trying to lose weight. If you came on here to try to lose weight, I'm going to change your mind. So you're going to get off this Zoom, this live stream, and you're going to say, you know what? I'm going to stop losing weight right now. Stop it. Stop trying to lose weight. Okay. That's going to be the message for today. That is going to be the big message. So let me start. Let me get started. Please keep telling me what your goals are, because this is very, very helpful for me. This topic of health and longevity of my vessel, it is something that I am experiencing every day right now. And I'm using everything, all the tools that I have, techniques that I have learned, manifestation, reprogramming the subconscious mind, spirituality, moving the physical body, habit formation, patterns and programs, all of that. I'm applying it to my life right now in a way that feels good for me, that is in alignment with me. And so what that means is that I like to do things in a state of ease and flow. I want to do things the effortless way. I want to use the law of least action. I don't want to fight myself. I've had enough fighting myself. I want to reprogram myself so it becomes easy and natural for me to become healthy. And that's the way I want to discuss it with you guys tonight, is how to help you become a healthy version of yourself in a way that has the least effort. And so it doesn't mean that I'm going to show you some magical way to sit on your butt every single day and just be healthy and manifest the absolute healthiest version of your body. But it's going to be the effortless way in terms of your programming, the effortless way in terms of helping you to change your habits instead of forcing a habit change. Okay. So I hope this really, really makes sense. But these comments are phenomenal. Here to learn about health. Beautiful. I want to become a healthier version. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, this is so good. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to take you on a little bit of a journey through my story. And I think this is important. I launched my business in January of 2020. And in January of 2020, I was at that point in a body that I did not like. So I was mad at myself. I was upset with myself. I felt that I was feeling guilty for carrying extra weight. I was feeling shame about the way that my body looked. I talked pretty bad about myself to myself. When I looked in the mirror, I had a literal reaction when I would look of embarrassment and shame and just looking and going, oh, I wish I didn't look like this. And so I'm telling you that because in order for me to get to where I am today, I had to stop doing that. I had to stop it. And when I got into manifestation and the power of the mind, and I started really understanding how to become the best of myself, I realized that I was fighting up against myself. Instead of just loving the version of myself that I was in that moment, I was always finding something wrong with myself. A way to be less than, a way to always be flawed. And I believed the story out there that said that being in a plus size body was something to be ashamed of. I listened to the stories and the messages that said, if you're in a plus size body, you must be unhealthy. I received a lot of outside messages as a kid and through high school of why, I was less than or inferior than other people. And I really created this idea and this image, and I existed as a woman that if I wanted to be successful and I wanted to be happy and I wanted to live a fulfilled life, I needed to lose weight to do it. So for years and years, I've lost 80 pounds once in my life. I've lost 85 pounds another time, and I've lost 100 pounds. And every single time in my life that I've lost those large amounts of weight like that, I forced myself to exercise. I deprived myself of any food that I enjoyed and forced myself to eat minimal amount of food, calorie reduction, ketogenic diet, intermittent fasting, taking weight loss products. I mean, I could go on and on about the things that I have done, starving myself, things like that. And so what I had found in January of 2020, after I was studying with Bob Proctor for 4 months, I realized that I was continuing to perpetuate an image of myself of being less than. And I saw that I was perpetuating a story that wasn't necessarily true. And that all I needed to do was love myself in that moment. And before January of 2020, I would have told you that loving myself was only possible if I was thin. That loving myself was only possible if I was in a healthy body. And when I mean healthy, I don't mean what my lab tests say, what my doctor says, but what you all would say. So if you thought that I looked good and I looked healthy, then that must mean that I am good and healthy. And so the external validation from other people around me would make me love myself. It's crazy. And so every time I lost those large sums of weight, those were the only times in my life that I experienced self-love and confidence. And it was because I finally felt like I measured up. But in January of 2020, I decided I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to look for outside validation. I wasn't going to contort and change and minimize and shrink my body down in order to be liked by other people, in order to receive validation from other people, in order to match up or reach ideal beauty standards that are out there in this world. And those beauty standards are not real and they are not true, because you can go to many different parts of the world and what is beautiful is very, very different. So because I heard the message that beauty is this and you are not that because you are this, I then perpetuated the story within my own subconscious. And so I existed as a woman who was hating herself to try to become the best of herself. And so the driving force behind that was self-hatred. The driving force behind that was wanting to change myself so that I could finally measure up. And it is such a scary place to be in, because there is this version of us inside that absolutely loves themselves, no matter what you look like. No matter how tall you are, no matter what color hair, no matter how old you are, whether you are a certain age, whether you have a certain amount of education, nothing. It doesn't matter. When you love yourself, you no longer require the validation of other people around you. And so in January of 2020, I remember I was launching my coaching business, and the coaching industry at that time was very masculine. So there's a lot of men in the coaching space. And what I also found in the coaching space was that a lot of coaches out there were, peak performance mentors, or helping you to step in and become your best. And there was this story that you had to get up at 4 a.m. and go to the gym. And if you're a coach, you exercise every day, you study every day, you meditate every day, you get work done, you're disciplined, you're an action taker, you work hard. And so when I launched my coaching business in January of 2020, I had written down on a piece of paper, actually it was September, I wrote it down, to lose weight. And I set a goal weight that I wanted to do. And I wrote down, I'm a woman that does yoga, exercises every day, eats healthy food, is thin, wears this size of clothes, weighs this much on the scale. And then I started studying myself more, and I started doing all of this work, and I started understanding my identity and my self-concept and who I am. And I started to really realize that I was just believing a story. And was it actually a true story? No, it wasn't. And I actually started to question then, in order to launch a successful coaching business, and in order to help people love themselves, to make more money, to improve their relationships, to improve their health, to et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, do I need to shrink my body down? Is that really true? Why do I believe that to be true? And do I actually need to do it? And I made the decision that I was going to launch my coaching business in the body that I was in that day, the way she was then, okay? And I built confidence and self-image and self-love that knew that I was beautiful now. I spent 3 solid months on myself, introspection, self-witnessing, and reprogramming of my subconscious mind to, for the first time in my life, I decided I no longer wanted to lose weight. No more. Okay. So I started trying to lose weight when I was 7 years old. So from 7 years old to 37 years old, for 30 years, I tried to lose weight. It was in the back of my mind every single day. For the months that I wasn't eating good food, the months that I wasn't on program, or the months that I wasn't doing good, it was in the back of my mind, the guilt, the shame, the stress. I walked around believing I was flawed and wrong. And every year on my birthday, I blew out the candles, and what I asked for was to be skinny. every single year from 7 years old. I wish I was skinny. 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 Every single time I blew the candles out on my birthday. It became something that ruled me, and it ruled my mind. And I understand now that I was using my personal mind against myself to continue to see that I am not good enough because I don't look a certain way. And so in January of 2020, for the first time in my life at 37 years old, I decided I no longer wanted to lose weight. I was going to stop all that, and I was going to love myself instead. And it's the best decision that I ever made for myself. The best decision I ever made. What I decided that day was that the version of me that I am right now in this moment can have anything she wants. The version that I am right now in this body today can help anybody live their best lives. I know that who I am right now in this body, in this moment, can love herself and can be happy and can be successful and all of those things. And so I started changing the beliefs within my subconscious mind. And I started to believe very different things. And then guess what I started to notice around myself? I started to notice other plus size women that were successful around me. But because I didn't see that before, I never saw it around me. I never saw it around me until I started to look for it, until I started to see it within myself, right? And so I started to see all of these successful women. I started to see beautiful women in plus size bodies. I started to see so much available to me that I hadn't seen available for 37 years. Opportunities, experiences, possibility, happiness, self-love, and joy. And one of my proudest moments, okay, so this was probably a year later, I launched my book, and Bob Proctor wrote my book. And I went to his house probably 6 months before that. And I was receiving my silver and gold pins for recognition for being a coach within his community. And when I went to his studio that day, I walked in and he had a thought about me and I couldn't feel it. And the way he looked at me, I knew he was thinking something. And my first thought was, is he judging me for my weight? My first thought is he noticing how fat I am? Is he questioning how I did this in such a big body? These were the thoughts that came back to me right away. But I decided in that moment that I was going to stop the chatter inside my mind and I was going to say, no, Kathleen, you earned this. You deserve this. Stop saying that. So that day, I never said a word to him about it. We had a beautiful day. I spent the afternoon at his studio and I came home and my heart was so full. And he, I really, really talked about how proud he was of me and things like that. But when he wrote the foreword to my book, which was about 6 months later, I'm going to say, he called me and he said, I just wanted to let you know that I just sent you over the foreword. It's complete for you to read. And I said, okay, that's great. And he said, but I wanted to tell you something that I didn't put in the foreword, but I wanted to say it to your face. I said, okay. He said, that day that you came to my studio for the first time. So that was actually when I was wearing the orange dress, by the way. The blue dress was the second time I'd been to a studio. So he said, that day that you came to my studio to get your pins. I said, yeah. He goes, I had a thought about you. I said, I know you did. I didn't know what it was, but I knew you had a thought. And he said to me that that was the first time in his life, so 87 years old or 86 years old at the time, that was the first time in his life that he saw a woman in a larger statured body, I think that's the language he used, in a larger statured body that came in that didn't give off the energy of guilt or shame, who wasn't trying to hide their body, pulling down their shirt, covering up with their arms. And he was so impressed that I loved myself in the body that I was in that day. And in that moment, I knew that I had really changed my mind. I had decided to stop hating myself, trying to be the best of myself, but I decided to love myself. And so the first step in my journey to this healthier version of me was to stop trying to lose weight. Do you know that 95% of weight loss programs, diets, products, personal trainer programs, whatever you call it, any and all things with the goal of losing weight, 95% of people gain it back plus more. Okay? So what's the problem here? Is the problem the people that are selling the fitness training, the weight loss products, the this, the that, the other, the thing? Is it that they're not doing it right? No. It's the problem is we're trying to lose weight. We're trying to change the way our body looks. We're trying to look better. And we are forgetting about what the real thing is that we want. And that is to live a healthy life. So when the goal is weight loss, 95% of the time, the weight comes back on. So, what do we do about this? We stop that and we make a new decision. We decide that we are going to love ourselves to become the best of ourselves instead. So this is where we praise ourselves and we are grateful for ourselves, and we condition ourselves to look in the mirror and love what we see, where we condition ourselves to believe that we are capable and possible and empowered and beautiful right now, today. It's really, really beautiful if you can choose to see it. And so that's what I decided to do. And so I remained for 2 full years in the energy of, I'm perfect right now and I don't need to change a thing about it. Okay, 2 full years. And so for those 2 years, I allowed myself to just untether and release the burden of feeling like I needed to lose weight. And it was so calming and so relaxing, and it allowed me to just study me and live this beautiful, grateful life that I had. And in those 2 years, I quantum leaped my life. Absolutely. Because I removed resistance. I stopped fighting myself. So in those 2 years, I went from a nurse making $3,500 a month income to $3.3 million in 2020. So that year that I decided to stop trying to lose weight and just love myself, I made $3.3 million. And then the next year, 12 million. Interesting, isn't it? When I stop fighting who I am and I allow myself to just be who I am, I become an open vessel. So when I change the belief that I can't achieve success because I'm fat, I suddenly create massive success. So whatever that thing is for you, whether it's the appearance of your body, the appearance of your face, how your hair looks, the color of your eyes, the amount of education that you have or do not have, where you grew up, what race or gender that you identify as, how much money you do or don't have, all of these things. What I'm telling you is the very thing that you think is a flaw is the very thing that is keeping you from your success and from your power. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate you. So the thing of it is then is I decided in 2022, January of 2022, my journey to self-love was taking me to a place where I was starting to want to think about my health. Okay. So not think about how I looked, not think about releasing weight, but to think about being the healthiest version of me. Healthy habits. And so I was not somebody that was judging myself in that moment. I wasn't saying that eating the amazing food that I was having traveling the world was bad. I wasn't shaming myself for all the champagne that I drank over those 2 years as I celebrated all of my massive success. I didn't shame or guilt myself into the fact that I didn't exercise for 2 years straight, which I didn't exercise my whole life unless I was trying to shrink my body. So I went into January 2022 going, okay, now I want to start thinking about this then. What are some things I can add into my life that would be healthier habits that would allow me to just be even more fulfilled, feel even more flexible, allow me to feel the ease of the movement in my body, perhaps have a little bit more endurance, perhaps breathe a little bit easier, all those things. And so when you would see me and you would look at me, you would see that I was carrying more weight on my body than society would have liked to have seen. Let's just say it that way. But there was nothing to indicate I was unhealthy. My blood work was amazing. My blood pressure was amazing. I was on no medications. I felt wonderful. And so what people look like is not an indication of their health status. And so I would like to debunk that right now. We think that people that are overweight or carrying extra weight are unhealthy, but there are people in thin bodies that are way more unhealthy than people in larger size bodies. So what I'm saying is that the size of your body does not determine your health. And I want us to stop thinking that the way we look and health are one and the same. I actually believe there are two different things, and this is one little tip I wanted to share with you guys tonight, that I have completely separated vanity from longevity. Okay? So vanity, to me, is when you are concerned with and consumed by how you look. So there are people whose goals are to look good. So there are people that use their personal mind to go to the gym every day and exercise so they look good. There are people that don't look good or don't think they look good, because they look good, they just don't think they look good, who are using their personal mind to guilt and shame themselves for not looking good. Both people care about what they look like, and they think that what they look like determines their worth. Then there's people that care about health and longevity. So there is people that go to the gym because they know that exercising every day helps with their joints. There are people that go to the gym and exercise that know that it reduces the risk of osteoporosis. There are people that go and exercise at the gym for their mental health, keeps them happy. Do you see that it's the driving force behind the motivation? That's the difference I'm talking about here. So there are people that are quite obsessed with the way that they look, and they go to the gym every single day, and it is about how they look. And there's the complete opposite, where people go to the gym for their health and longevity. And I'm not here to say that, I'm not here to judge anyone for their rationale for doing something. But what I'm wanting to show you is the dichotomy between two places of existing. Are you existing in a place where you just want to live a really, really long life? And so you want to make sure that you have a body that's going to help you live a really, really long life? And that's your motivation behind it? Or is it trying to change your body because you're ashamed of it? Is it trying to keep your body a certain way because you're afraid that if your body doesn't stay this way, you're not going to be You're not going to be liked anymore. You're not going to be worthy. You're not going to be good enough, et cetera, et cetera. So I decided in January of 2022 that I was going to focus on my health. And this had nothing to do with weight loss, guys. So this was not about wanting to lose weight. This was not setting a goal weight, taking my measurements, taking before pictures. No, I have done that before. This was about how can Kathleen Cameron exist in this body longer. And so in January of 2022, that's when I decided that I was going to start walking every day. To me, the best of myself is somebody that walks every day. And so that's what I did. I started walking. And then in February of 2022, I decided to stop drinking alcohol and I became a non-drinker. So I took on the identity of someone who didn't drink anymore. And the reason that I did that was because it didn't make me feel that good. It made me feel tired the next day. I didn't have a clear head after I would have a drink. I would feel flushed. Sometimes it would give me heartburn. So I decided that I was going to stop drinking alcohol. So I haven't had a drink since February of last year. But a very interesting thing happened for me in April of last year. Okay, so I'm walking every day. I switched over from coffee to green tea matchas in the morning. I stopped drinking alcohol. I was drinking more water. And I ended up getting sick with pneumonia that led to multiple pleural effusions and empyemas. And I ended up in the hospital in Miami having lung surgery. And I nearly lost my life. And my organs were shutting down. My kidneys were shutting down. And it was so interesting because I thought, geez, I was finally like really becoming this healthy woman. And then boom, illness shows up. And it was such an incredible thing that happened. Incredible thing that happened. It was the most challenging thing I've ever been through. Absolutely. To come out of that surgery and be in the ICU with a chest tube and to be in the most excruciating pain that I ever had been in was very, very challenging and very hard. And so I was up in the clouds and was brought smack back down to earth. And so it is 11 months from right now that I had my surgery. And what that surgery did for me was to solidify the belief that I am health, right? And so what the decision was in that moment was that I was going to have a miraculous recovery. I was going to heal myself and I was going to become the healthiest version of myself that I possibly could be in that moment. And so my recovery, while it was challenging, was certainly miraculous. And I started walking as much as I could. So every day, I started walking 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and just kept working up and up and up. And then also after the surgery, it was recommended that I stop eating gluten and dairy so that my lungs could recover because I had quite the recovery. So I cut gluten and dairy. What started happening after that is I started realizing that life is to be lived. And when I was hating myself, I wasn't living. I wasn't living. And I really started living the moment I decided to stop losing weight. And I hated my body for so long. And when I got to that hospital to have that surgery, my fear was that people were going to think that I was sick because of my weight, because I was carrying extra weight. My fear was that people were going to think that I did it to myself, that I made myself sick by my unhealthy habits in life, things like that. But when I got out of that surgery, the surgeon said to my friend Anna, and she relayed the message to me, that if it wasn't for the healthy state of my body, I would not have made it through that. If it wasn't for this body that I hated for 37 years, if it wasn't for its strength, and if it wasn't for its power, I would not be here. My body saved my life. And your body is there to save your life, to keep you alive. It is there to help you experience all the amazing things that are here. And so when we praise something, it grows, it expands, it becomes better. But when we talk shit about it, when we belittle it, when we make it wrong, we're shrinking it down. And we're shrinking down our experience of life. So how can you love yourself to then become the best of yourself? That's the message here. And so what has happened since my surgery? So many people ask me this time and time again. They want to know, how much weight have you lost? How much weight have you lost? What clothing sizes are you in now? And I'm going to tell you those numbers today, and I'm going to tell you so that you can see how changing my perception of myself has changed the way I'm looking, the way I'm feeling. But what I want you to know, that it's not the how, it's not the diet, it's not the specific diet or the calorie counting or the restriction or the certain exercises I'm doing at the gym. It's not about habit stacking. It's not about forcing myself to do this, this, and this. It's not about a certain program or a weight loss product. It's about being health. Being health. Taking on the identity of health. When you think you are a problem that needs fixing, you are going to forever stay in the problem. And this is why weight loss should never be the goal. And so when we are out there telling people, look at this weight loss product, look at this before and after photo, look at this person that lost this much weight, look at this person that lost 100 pounds, look at this person that has a six-pack abs now that used to have a flabby tummy. What we're actually sending a message out is we're actually saying that thinner is better, that you should lose weight. Congratulations. So many of you have been following me for some time, and you've really tuned into the way I talk about this and the way I live and the way I exist. And not many of you congratulate me on my weight loss. And I am so grateful to all of you for that. I am so grateful to all of you for that, because I am not my weight on the scale. So what you all will say to me otherwise is you will say, Kathleen, you look so vibrant. You look so healthy. You are glowing. I love your style. I love your healthy looking hair and skin. You will comment on things other than the weight loss. And if we keep perpetuating this message that thinner is better, that health is thinness, we are continuing to perpetuate a story. And it is so damaging. It is beyond damaging. So you will not see a before and after photo of me. You will not see me publicly discuss how much weight I've lost. You will not see me say that before I was unhealthy and now I'm healthy. Before I wasn't good enough and now I am. No, I was amazing last year and the year before and the year before that, and I'm amazing today. So it's really about allowing people to be who they are and allowing people to exist as they are. And so many of us judge ourselves and many of us judge others, and we continue to. So how can we stop judging? So since my surgery, I believe I'm down about 3 clothing sizes. So I was in a 3X when I went into my surgery, and now I wear a large and an extra large. The amount of weight, I will just tell you that I am 3/4 of the way to 100-pound weight loss or weight release, whatever language you want to use. It's not the goal. It's simply feedback as a measuring stick of my own internal growth. Just like money. So the amount of money that you're making or not making is simply a measuring stick to the internal growth. So whatever language you want to use, the goal here is not to lose weight or to release weight. The goal is to exist as health every single day. So what do I do now? What's different? I breathe easier. I sleep better. My heartburn is almost completely gone. I can walk up mountains. I can run again. I have no hip pain or knee pain that I used to experience every single day. I am stronger. I am more flexible. I am more resilient. My energy feels different. Like there's millions of things that I can tell you. Millions of things. No, Monique, I said I don't have heartburn anymore. Yeah. So what I'm telling you is that by deciding to love myself and become the best of myself, and then deciding to exist as health and longevity instead of somebody wanting to be weight loss, wanting to lose weight or to look slim, and strictly moving into everyday identity of health, I'm completely different. Completely different. And my body is completely transforming. Doesn't matter what my body looks like. It doesn't matter for my success. It doesn't matter for my worthiness. It doesn't matter for what other people think of me. But it matters because now my body is becoming a match to my insides. That's what's happening. So what is releasing is all the past judgments. What is releasing is the limiting beliefs. What is releasing is all of the ways in which I didn't think that I was worthy. What is releasing is what I was hiding behind. So now my outside is starting to match my inside. That's what's happening. So then the question is how? Kathleen Cameron, how? How do you do this? You start off by stopping depriving yourself in any way. Like you have to stop depriving yourself. So anytime you think that you shouldn't have something, that it's wrong, that it's bad, that you should exercise and you don't want to, every time that you guilt and shame yourself, you're further perpetuating that you are wrong, you are flawed, you are not good enough, and you are not worthy. Stop that right now. No more of that. We are literally here to experience a great life. And we cannot experience a great life by being so mad at the one that we have. So let's stop that. Then I would ask yourself, what is health? Truly, what is it? What does it mean to be healthy? Is it eating vegetables? Is it walking every day? Is it going to the gym? Is it meditating every single day? Is it loving yourself in front of the mirror every day? What is it to be healthy? And then ask the question then, what would it be like to exist as a person that cares about their vessel, that wants to live a long life? So you don't exercise to hopefully see your body slim out. You exercise for the benefits that it has on your muscles. You eat nutritious food for all the vitamins and minerals that it puts in your body that allows your body to function properly during the day, not limiting your calorie count and depriving yourself. I look back to those years that I did 1,000 calories a day, 800 calories a day, the ketogenic diet, intermittent fasting. I barely ate any nutritious food. Was I healthy then? When I lost the 100 pounds, I lost 100 pounds in 11 months. I deprived myself. I had 800 calories a day and not a stitch of carbohydrates. And I trained for a 10K race and was running 5 to 8 days a week. No wonder I got sick and started fainting 3 to 5 times a week. That's not health. Not at all. So now I exist as a healthy version of myself every day. So Kathleen, who is healthy, is a woman who walks every day, who has a personal trainer. No, I do not calorie count. I do not do any form of diet. I will not write down my food. I will not weigh my food. I will not count macros. I'm not doing any of that. I'm living my life as a healthy woman. Do you feel the difference? I don't measure myself. I don't take before and afters. No, I don't do any of that. So I now eat salads. For 37 years, I hated salad. I have now convinced myself I like it, and I love salads. They're my favorite food. I eat high protein foods. I eat lots of fruits and vegetables. I eat foods that are fiber and nutritious, fiber rich, vitamin rich, nutrient rich food. I love to research foods that help reduce inflammation in the body, like turmeric. Yeah, lots of leafy greens. And so it's about nutritious food, not calorie counting, not minimizing, not restricting, not reducing. Nutritious food. And guess what? If I go out for dinner and I want to have a piece of cake, I'll order some cake and have a few bites, maybe half of it. But what happens is when you start fueling your body with nutritious food and you start exercising regularly and you start feeling really, really good, you no longer want to order and sit down and eat a whole piece of cake after you just had dinner. So it's so important to understand that this isn't about going on a diet. People say, oh, this is a lifestyle change. No, it's not. It's not even a lifestyle change. It's existing as a healthy version of myself. When you calorie count, when you restrict, when you even hire a trainer for 12 weeks. So here's the other thing. I told my trainer, we're working out forever to the end of the time. Don't sign me up for a 12-week program. I'm going to work out with a personal trainer now till the end of time. That's health to me. I'm going to walk every day till the end of time. But when we sign up for like a 3-month plan, or we take 3 months worth of supplements or whatever else, we're signing up for, we think there's something wrong, and so we're going to change who we are to fix it. So one of the things that I do is manifestation. It's so incredibly powerful because manifestation is a personal transformation. It's an internal personal transformation. And so when you are continually expanding and growing in your awareness, you want to become better in all areas of your life. So you want to become better in your thinking. You want to become better in your self-love, maybe in your business, in the amount of money that you make, in your health, in your relationships. And so what ends up happening is that you develop the desire to grow every day and to become 1% better every single day. That's manifestation. So you change and the life around you changes. But one thing that we really miss here is that we stay the same person with the same limiting beliefs, with the same consciousness, the same patterns and programs, the same reactions to life, and we expect a different answer. So people that go on these weight loss diets, 95% of them gain it back. Why? They did not change their identity. They didn't change who they are. They didn't change how they see themselves. So they just go right back. It's the same thing when people win the lottery. They win the lottery, they don't change at all. Money's all gone, they go back to where they were before. We see it time and time again. So I manifested the health of my vessel. Yes, it was a bit rocky. Yes, there was a surgery. But sometimes things have to fall apart before they come back together more beautiful. When you clean out your pantry, you got a gong show of a pantry until you put it all back together beautiful. So it is not always going to be sunshine and rainbows the entire time. That is not life, and that is not the law of rhythm. But it is about becoming a strong and resilient version of yourself. It is deciding that you are going to stop trying to lose weight, and you are going to start loving life, loving yourself. And then guess what? You start to care about your vessel. You start to take care of your vessel. And so you move your vessel, you grease your vessel, you give your vessel what it needs to last a long time, the law of rhythm. So one of the 7 natural laws is a law of rhythm. And so there is a rhythm to life that exists no matter where you are in the universe. And that rhythm is always present. So the sun goes up, the sun goes down. The tide goes in, the tide goes out. There's a top and a bottom to everything. The seasons change. Everything is cyclical, is a rhythm. Even the waves of the ocean are a rhythm. So our lives are forever going to be in a rhythm, which means there's going to be really great highs and there's going to always be lows. So the key to this, and this is how you work within the law, is to understand that there's a rhythm of life. So then I'm going to become the permanent fixture of my life. I'm going to become strength and resilience. I'm going to become empowered and inspired. I'm going to become the best of myself. So as I'm riding the waves of life, they don't impact me. Okay, maybe it's turbulence, right? We've used this before. Turbulence of life. But then there's other people that aren't as prepared, as empowered, as inspired, that aren't doing personal growth and development, that aren't becoming the best of themselves, that are being taken down by the waves, that are screaming during the turbulence, whereas other people are just relaxed. So that's a law of rhythm. That's how life is. There is always going to be ups and downs, highs and lows. It's just how do we maintain our permanence of who we are during the highs and lows of life. So what I want to say here then is it is about reprogramming an identity. So what I would love for each of you to do, whether you're watching this today live or whether you're watching this on a replay or maybe even a year later and this is sitting here and you found it. This is the moment for you right now in this moment to decide, is health important to me? Not, is looking good important to me? Is health important to me? Is living a long life in a healthy vessel important to me? Yes, it's important to me. So stop the guilting, stop the shaming, stop saying that you're a problem that needs to be fixed, and decide today that you are going to embody the identity of health. So what I would write down on a piece of paper then is, who am I at my healthiest? And I would strongly encourage you not to put a weight on the scale to indicate your health status. If you can avoid that, that would be wonderful, or a body measurement. But what does health mean? And what are the ways in which you can show up as health every day? So I wrote down, I am a woman who, okay? I am a woman who walks every day, fuels her body nutritiously every day, drinks lots of water every day. I'm a woman who loves herself every day. Okay, you could do it, I'm a man. Whatever, however you self-identify, whatever language. But when I say it like that, like I'm a woman who does this, boom, it hits me. Yeah, I am. So I'm going to show up like that every day. So that's what I would do. That's the homework that I would give you, is to ask yourself, who am I as my healthiest version every day? What are some of the activities that I do? What are some of the foods that I eat? What are the things that are healthy and nutritious? Do you think writing down food will hold us back? I just don't want to do it. It takes me back to an old version of restriction, of limitation. Whenever you get to that place where you're limiting yourself or you're restricting yourself, it's not needed. You don't need to do that. You really don't need to do that. I have not written my food down at all this entire time. I refuse to. I hired a health coach and I didn't want to write my food down. I'm not doing it. I just want to live life. I don't want to write it down. And I just want to exercise. I don't want to keep track of it. I don't want to know anything. I just want to do it. I just want to move my body. That's it. This is the effortless way. It's literally just releasing. It's just releasing. It's beautiful. And I don't care about time. I don't care how long this is taking. What's taking? To be healthy? I am it every day. I'm health right now. I'm health in this moment. Right now. And the other thing too is when you exist as a healthy version of you, you don't get mad at yourself when you eat a piece of cake. You don't get mad at yourself when you have that drink that you said you weren't going to have. Right? That's unhealthy. So to me, being a healthy version of myself means that for 95% of the time, my decisions are healthy ones. But I also allow myself to have what I want to have. That's it. I hope you see how effortless this is. I hope you see how easy this really is. And it's a change in a mindset. It's a way of seeing life differently. So what I would love for each of you to do is to commit in this moment. You were on this Zoom for a reason. Health is important to you. You want to be here for a long time. You want to take care of your body. So write down all the ways in which you show up as a healthy version of you. And don't go restricting, guys. Don't create this insane list of like 1,000 ways you show up. No. What are some changes that you can make now? So I started out by just deciding I was going to walk every day. Healthy Kathleen walks every day. That was it. Then once I started walking every day, I said, okay, you know what? Healthy Kathleen works with a trainer. So I started working with a trainer. It wasn't, I'm going to deprive myself all of a sudden like a crazy person. It was completely different. It was, okay, now I'm going to not have the dairy because, the dairy produces phlegm when my lungs are trying to heal. Okay, I'm going to reduce gluten because gluten is very inflammatory. So it was these progressive changes growing every single day. So quick little changes, quick little things that you can do, and decide that now is the day. I used to have this attitude of all or nothing. I'm either on a diet or I'm off the diet. I'm either depriving myself or overindulging. So if I were to have eaten healthy all day long and then have a sweet treat at night, I'd be like, oh man, I threw the whole day away. That makes zero sense, you guys. I was healthy 95% of the day, and only 5% of it, I ate something wrong and I've thrown it all away? No. The reason why we think that is because the goal is weight loss or weight release or weight restriction. It's not health. Because if we looked at the goal as being healthy, we just do it now. And we just make as many healthy choices as we possibly can. We don't need to be perfect about it. But the perfection comes with, well, I'm not going to lose the weight if I don't limit my calories. Oh no, I ate the sugar, so I'm off keto now. I'm out of ketosis. Like, I've done it all, you guys. I'm never doing it again. And so I'm just existing as a version of myself that loves to walk, that loves to work out. And I'm convincing myself that that is what I want to do. So the last thing that I will say, I wanted to try to keep this to an hour and I've gone over a little bit. What I will say though, is if you are somebody that is new to my energy, or maybe you've watched these trainings before, but you've never allowed yourself to learn more or to take that step forward, I would encourage you to reach out to somebody on my team today. We have success advisors that are here to help you. They're here to help you in all areas of your life, and specifically related to your health as well. It is a reprogramming of the subconscious mind. It is a transformation. And so I'm going to offer them up right now. We don't have a live event or a live training right now, so they have some time to be able to discuss how we can support you. Okay, so I'm offering you a chance to talk to them. Their calendars are going to fill up. So please make sure that you fill out this form that we're putting in the chat box. And if you're watching the replay, we'll make sure that that form that you can fill out is also present on the replay as well for you. It is the time now to make the decision to change your life. Absolutely. I believe in you. I believe in you, Daniel. I believe in everybody. So now is the time, not tomorrow. One thing that I can tell you right now is that life can be gone in a blink of an eye. Daniel can tell you that too. And when you are faced with the potentiality of no longer being here, everything is different. And so I really, really believe that every moment is precious. And yeah, you can manifest the money, you can manifest the business success, you can manifest that beautiful relationship. But if you don't have your health, it is worthless. And so longevity of your vessel is the most important thing that you can do. I'm grateful for all of you for coming on here today. I'm grateful for all your love and support. I'm going to continue to change. I'm going to continue to look different. And I want you to all know that I'm just being healthy Kathleen. Yes. If you talk to our success advisors, yeah. No, it doesn't cost you any money. No. Book in with them before their calendars fill up though, okay? The last thing that I will say as we log off. Tomorrow, we are announcing the most accessible program that we have ever launched. It is about self-concept and it is about identity. And man, you guys are gonna love it. So watch for that launching tomorrow. I'm not gonna give you the link right now. It is launching tomorrow morning. The price of this program is unreal. And I am so excited to help you all to step into that next level energy.